My question is, how do you act friendly with someone when you know they're trying to play passive-aggressive power games with you? Say you know a person and you know he's a snake, but social and work situations demands and expects that you act like their friend. How do you reconcile that within your mind? Is that not being fake? I know you're gonna say play the game, but but do I really have to play these snake games just to get ahead in the world?
Yes. You absolutely called it and what I was going to say. Play the game. Right? Yeah, yes. That's what you're going to do. Now, let me put it this way. You got snakes. Okay? If you don't learn to play with the snakes, you're never going to get the anti-venom from their fangs. Right? You're never going to get them figured out. And if you don't figure out how to get the anti-venom, the snakes are always going to own you. So you got to learn how to deal with snakes. I had a kid when I was at Team 2, kid from Arkansas or something. And we were out in the hills somewhere, and there was a rattlesnake. And he grabbed that thing like he was picking up a pair of socks. It was like no factor. Boom, walked over, picked up the snake, whacked it against the tree. I said, okay, this dude knows how to deal with snakes. And it's the same thing here. People are snakes. Does that mean you just avoid them and you're not going to play the game? And the worst thing, you know what you don't do with a snake? Is you don't walk over and get all, like, intimidate them and get in their face, and so it bites you and poisons you. Right? So, yes, you got to play the game. People like this exist. Right? And so let's say you take the moral high ground and you refuse to work with and accept and be humane with these snakes. Okay? If that's what you do, now, guess what? Now the snakes don't like you. Now they see you as a threat, and now they attack. And like I said, this is when they bite and they poison and they kill you. And what good are you now? You're dead. So you can't help anybody when you're dead. You can't achieve your goals. You can't help the team. You can't accomplish the mission because you are on the moral high ground. Now, let's say that you learn to play the game. You learn how to handle those snakes like that young boy from Arkansas. You learn their moves. You get the antidote. You get the anti-venom for their poison. And you actually, in this process, you become immune to their attacks. And you reach a point where they actually don't attack you because they're familiar with you. And they trust you. And when that happens, then you can overcome their weapons. You can rise up. You can get control of them. And you can utilize them for your own purpose, right? Now, if that purpose was something that was self-centered or something that was for your own good and not for them or not for the team, then it'd be a form of manipulation and it'd be pretty negative. But if all you're doing is trying to get these snakes on board with the program to help the whole team win, we got no issue with that. We got no moral issue with that. I got no moral issue with me treating people nicely to try and get them on board with the program so that they can help our team win. I got no issue with that, moral or otherwise. So that's the answer, I think. You know, when the time is right, you be nice to those snakes. When the time is right, you put that little stick with the noose around the end of it. You put it around their head and you collect their venom. And you can use snakes to do things like kill rats, right? Snakes can be used for some kind of good at some point. Now, I know it's hard, right? I know it's hard. And is it being fake? Maybe it is. Maybe that is being fake. But you're doing it for the good of the team. So again, it's not for personal gain. That's a huge difference. And also, if you think about this idea of being fake, if you would be nice to people to help the team win, then isn't that actually you? Right? So how can you be fake by being you? Right? If what I do is, hey, I help people and I get in their head and I'll be nice to them so we can win. If I do that, that's me. That's not being fake. That's actually what I do. That's not being fake. So I think regardless, in the end, it is something you have to do. You do have to play the game. And that is how you're going to help your team win. And it's also, if you want to get those snakes to come over to the light and get away from the darkness, you're not going to do it by trying to kill them. All you're going to do is offend them, and they're going to attack you. Like I said, if you show them a good example, if you're productive, and when you get all that stuff done and you accomplish your mission, and what you do is you say, hey, it wasn't me that accomplished the mission. It was the snakes. They did it. You know what? Those snakes start to stand upright. They start to defang themselves, and they start to realize that maybe they can do some good out there too.